13 is an unlucky number, but who are the unlucky clubs that have been affected by wrong VAR decisions? As an SFA panel have found 13 wrong decisions made by VAR during the second round of CINCH Premiership fixtures. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football, and the SFA have admitted that VAR has got it wrong. During the second round of fixtures in the league, they've said that they have seen 13 decisions that have been wrong, and these have either led to sending offs or goals not being given, or penalties being given that shouldn't have been, or penalties that weren't given. And we're going to look at all 13 decisions right here, right now. But what I think's a little bit concerning is that the SFA did the same thing for the first round of fixtures, and they only found 3 games where there was wrong decisions. So we went from having 3 wrong decisions in the first round of fixtures to having 13. So it's an increase of 10. That's a hell of a lot of decisions there. So why is VAR getting more big moments wrong? Why is VAR making more mistakes now than it was at the beginning of the season? Are the officials using it wrong? Are they getting complacent with VAR? Are they trying to be braver and sticking with their original decision? Or are they favouring perhaps the attacking team, the defending team? Why has there been 13 wrong decisions made in the second round compared to only 3 in the first round? Well, we're going to look at what the decisions were, because the SFA panel have listed all 13, and I probably haven't seen them all. I probably can't recall them all, but I will try and think of the ones that I have seen, and I'll see whether or not I agree with the decision. But the review process found a significant increase in incorrect decisions made compared to the first round of reviewed games, which, like I said, offered just the 3 suggestions of wrong decisions, 2 of which involved Dundee in the first round of fixtures. So Dundee there obviously being pretty controversial. Now, among the 13, that was the one that was probably the most controversial was the handball by Alistair Johnston in the December 30th Old Firm game between Celtic and Rangers, where Alistair Johnston handballed it and there was no penalty given. Well, the panel has noted that in that instance that an on-field review should have took place, because they said that it was a handball, they said that it was a penalty. However, there was also an offside in the build-up, and that would have been given. The offside would have trumped the penalty. So what should have happened was there should have been an on-field review for a handball, and during that review for the handball, they would have noticed that there was an offside the build-up. And I think we can all pretty much accept that's what should have happened. Obviously, at the time, Celtic fans believed the correct decision was made. Rangers fans thought they should have had a penalty, but it should have been a free kick for offside. In the end, they gave a goal kick because the ball did come off Seema last, but that it shouldn't have got to that point. They should have checked essentially for the penalty. The penalty then should have been the priority because it was a handball, but in the look for the penalty, they would have noticed that there was an offside. So, I mean, I don't think it made that much of a difference. It was just the confusion where it was like 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later, they're kind of changing their story. 30 minutes later, they decided that there was an offside, even though they never looked for an offside during the original moment. So I think that's what kind of pissed people off a lot. But there was quite a lot of decisions, and we'll look through them. But across the first 2 rounds of games, there have been 785 VAR reviews. So the majority of these VAR decisions, according to these SFA panels, have been correct. I mean, out of what, 785 VAR reviews, apparently we've only had 16 wrong, which is a minuscule amount. And if that is the case, then I guess VAR's doing a good job. But I'm not sure I agree with that. But we're going to look at the report here, and these are the following moments that are understood to be the 13, wrongdoing, so to speak, from VAR this season, or at least in the second round of games. So here we go. First, VAR correct to recommend an on-field review for potential penalty for Hearts' Liam Boyce decision. Should have been penalty. So yeah, he didn't get that penalty. I remember that. Liam Boyce was booted in the chest, essentially. He didn't get a penalty. I think they gave a dive instead. That was a terrible decision. And I think they actually looked at it. Did they look at it? I think they looked at it, but they didn't give it, which was insane. That should have 100% been a penalty. So they got that one wrong. Number 2. VAR should have recommended an on-field review after Rangers' Ross McCausland was awarded a penalty. Decision should have been no penalty. Livingston versus Rangers, 12th of November. I think I remember seeing that one. I didn't think it was a penalty, but I mean, if you're watching Scottish football, you pretty much accept at this point that Celtic and Rangers are going to get penalties against the smaller teams. So, I mean, I didn't think it was a penalty, but I wasn't surprised. In the end, I don't think it really changed anything. I'm pretty sure Rangers would have beat Livingston, but I remember seeing that, and I thought Ross McCausland went down way too easily. I don't think that should have been a penalty. Number 3, VAR should have recommended an on-field review for a potential red card for Kilmarnock's Will Dennis. Decision should have been red card. This was Kilmarnock versus Hearts, 2nd of December. Can't remember this one, so can't really comment on it too much, but VAR is saying that Will Dennis should have been sent off against Hearts. Number 4, VAR should have recommended an on-field review for a foul in the build-up to Motherwell's Bevis Mugabe goal. Decision should have been goal disallowed. Motherwell versus Dundee, 2nd of December. Again, didn't see this one, can't really comment on it, but here is 2 games in the same day having big decisions that were apparently wrong. A red card that wasn't given, and a goal that was given that should have been disallowed. So, yeah, both of those games happened on December 2nd. What number are we on now? Number 5. VAR should have recommended an on-field review for a potential red card for Kilmarnock's Marley Watkins. Decision should have been a red card. Aberdeen versus Kilmarnock, 6th of December. Again, don't recall seeing it. I mean, I watch a lot of Scottish football, but it's hard to remember every single VAR decision here, every single VAR moment. I just do not recall that one, so unfortunately can't really comment on it too much. Number 6, VAR should have recommended an on-field review for a penalty after a foul on Rangers' Abdallah Sima. On-field decision of no penalty should have stood. Rangers versus Dundee on the 9th of December. So it says on-field decision of no penalty should have stood. So it would. That's another penalty Rangers have received then that apparently shouldn't have been given, because they're saying that VAR should not have recommended an on-field review. So VAR doesn't think that at the time they gave an on-field review, and then they ended up changing the decision and they gave Rangers a penalty. But now they're saying that was the wrong decision. So there's 2 penalties for Rangers so far that VAR are saying should not have been given. Interesting. Don't recall seeing it, to be fair, but whatever. Number 7, VAR should have not recommended an on-field review after Rangers' Jose Cervantes was awarded a yellow card. On-field decision of yellow card should have stood. Rangers versus Dundee, 9th of December. So again, that was the same match between Rangers and Dundee. Jose Cervantes was given a yellow card. Then they reviewed it and they took away the yellow card. VAR is now saying that the yellow card should have stood. So another decision that Rangers have had in their favour. That's 3 so far. Number 8. VAR should have recommended an on-field review for a potential red card for Hearts' Benny Benenjami. Decision should have been a red card. Aberdeen versus Hearts, 9th of December. Don't recall seeing it. Can't remember it. But apparently Hearts should have been down to 10. I think we're on 9 now. VAR should have recommended an on-field penalty review for a handball offence by Celtic's Alistair Johnson. Panel noted an offside in the build-up, so decision should have remained to not award a penalty. Celtic versus Rangers, December 30th. So that's what I talked about at the beginning. They should have looked. There should have been an on-field review for the penalty. Then they would have noticed the offside, and it would have been a free kick to Celtic for the offside rather than the goal kick that Celtic got. And look, I'm not going to complain. Goal kick, free kick, same fucking shit. It shouldn't have been a goal. But I think they got to pretty much the correct decision, because I don't think anyone's going to complain whether it's a goal kick or a free kick in the box. But it was just the decision and the way they got there, the way they made the decision, people are unhappy about. So, I mean, technically it's a decision that went against Rangers, but they wouldn't have got the penalty either way. So that's that. VAR, number 10 I think we're on, or number, are we on 10 or, yeah, we're on 10. Yeah, definitely 10. VAR should have recommended an on-field review for a penalty for a foul on Hearts' Alan Forrest. Decision should have been to award a penalty. Hearts versus Ross County, December 30th. Yeah, I do remember seeing this one. I think this is the one where Alan Forrest is like through on goal and the goalkeeper trips him up. That was definitely a penalty. How they got that one wrong, how they didn't even go to an on-field review is crazy. You feel like with any sort of penalty instances or any sort of penalty shouts, they should probably automatically go to VAR, else what's the point of having it? I mean, you can look at VAR and you can get a decision in less than, what, 30 seconds, a minute if you use it correctly. I mean, just at least look at it, and if there's a shout, if it's like 50-50, then take a longer look. But if you look at it, then you see there's nothing there, then, you know, you quickly move on. That was a terrible decision that VAR got wrong that day. Number 11, VAR should not have recommended an on-field review for a penalty for a handball offence against Rangers' John Souttar. On-field decision to not award a penalty should have stood. Rangers versus Kilmarnock, January 2nd. So VAR here saying that Rangers were wrongly done. John Souttar had a penalty given against them, and that there should have been no penalty, but Kilmarnock got a penalty that day. I think Rangers went on to win anyway, so it didn't make much difference, but Rangers then received a penalty against them when they should not have. Number 12, VAR should not have recommended an on-field review for a potential foul in the build-up to Graham Carey's goal for St Johnstone. On-field decision to award a goal should have stood. St Johnstone versus Aberdeen, 24th of January. Can't really recall this one. Don't remember it, so I mean, it is what it is. But the on-field decision to award a goal should have stood. They actually disallowed this goal. And then last, 13, VAR should have recommended an on-field review for a potential foul in the build-up to Zach Robinson's goal for Dundee. Decision should have been to disallow a goal. Livingston versus Dundee, 27th of January. So that one sucks for Livingston. The decision then should have been to disallow the goal. The goal was allowed, and Livingston had a chance of getting something out of that game that day, so maybe VAR has cost them points. But there you go, there's the decisions, 13 in total, and that's the 13 that the SFA panel have said they got wrong. I personally, I would imagine there's more than 13, because I mean, I feel like almost every single game I watch, there's at least one controversial decision that I don't agree with. So yeah, 13 decisions that were wrong. How many will we find in the third round of fixtures? I mean, I think there's been quite a few already. There's been the Hibs, the Kilmarnock one against Hibs, and is it Ndaba? That was terrible. And then we had the, what was it, Bolton? Will Bolton one for Dundee. He got sent off. That was a terrible decision as well. I know a lot of people don't really agree with the Dujon Sterling sending off as well. So I think it'll be interesting to see how many of these VAR decisions were wrong in the third round of games, but I would have to imagine it will be more than 13, and that's probably not right. The fact that the number's going up, the number should be going down. The longer we use VAR, the more we use it, the better we should get with it, the more decisions we should be getting correct, and it seems to be having the opposite effect. So yeah, pretty strange. Anyway guys, there you go, that was the 13 decisions. Let us know your thoughts down below, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. 13 decisions wrong, and I think we'll get more next time out. Till then, peace.